Very warm welcome to all our guests joining from all around the world today for yet another exciting seminar. So I, Dr. Vinod from Symbiosis Institute of Business Management Pune and Dr. Annabel Gutierrez from University of London feel honored and privileged to moderate fifth seminar and third edition of the seminar series on digital future for business and society, emerging perspective on the metaverse. This seminar series is jointly hosted by Professor Yogesh Kumar Dwivedi, who is Professor of Digital Marketing and Innovations and Founding Director of the Digital Future for Sustainable Business and Society Research Group at School of Management, Swansea University, Wales, UK. Next, we have Dr. Laurie Hughes. He is Senior Lecturer within Strategic Operation Group and founding member of the Digital Future for Sustainable Business and Society Research Group at School of Management, Swansea University, Wales, UK. Last but not least, we also have Professor Raman. He is currently Director, Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Pune, Dean, Faculty of Management, Symbiosis International Deemed University, Director, Strategy and Development, Symbiosis Group. Our entire seminar series is jointly supported by Digital Marketing and Analytics, SIG Academy of Marketing, Green Nobel, IAE Graduate School of Management, a Green Nobel INP School of the University of Green Nobel Alps, the E-Business and E-Government SIG British Academy of Management, the UK Academy for Information System UKAIS. So to tell you something very briefly about the seminar series itself, emerging technologies such as AI, blockchain, Internet of Things, and the Metaverse undoubtedly offer transformative potential for augmentation and potential replacement of human performed tasks and activities within a wide range of industrial, intellectual, and social application. The impact and widespread adoption of these technologies is likely to be transformational within sectors ranging from agriculture, finance, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, supply chain, logistics, and utilities. The seminar series on digital future for business and society, emerging perspective on the metaverse, will present various perspectives from a number of leading expert speakers to highlight the opportunities and challenges posed by rapid emergence of the metaverse. The seminar series will not only offer a timely and thought-provoking insight into the metaverse, but also its impact on the future of business management and societal factors impacted by growth, direction, and widespread adoption of this new immersive technology. Today, we have with us three eminent thought leaders, Professor Samuel FOSSO, Dr. Maciel Queiroz, and Dr. Anuragini Shirish, who will share their thoughts on the topic Unlocking the Metaverse in Manufacturing and Operations Management. To tell you something about our speakers of the day, Professor Wamba is full professor in information system and data science and associated dean of research at TBS Education France. He is also a distinguished visiting professor at the University of Johannesburg, South Africa, also at UCSI Graduate Business School, UCSI University, Malaysia. He earned his PhD in Industrial Engineering from Polytechnic School of Montreal, Canada. He leads the Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence and Business Analytics at TBS Education. He is among 2% of the most influential scholars globally based on Mendeley's database that include 1 lakh plus scientists for 2020 and 2021. He ranks in Clarivate's 1% most cited scholars in the world for the years 2020 and 2021. Also in CDO Magazine's leading academic data leaders 2021. Based on research.com 2021 ranking, he is France's third top business and management scientist. Next, we have Dr. Maciel Queiroz. Dr. Maciel is Associate Professor and Researcher of Operation and Supply Chain Management at FGP EAESP Brazil and Latin South America Regional Ambassador of the Academy of Management, Operation and Supply Chain Management Division. He earned his PhD in Naval Architecture and Ocean Engineering at University of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Currently, Dr. Maciel is Associate Editor in the International Journal of Logistics Management, RAUSP Management Journal, and Editorial Review Board of International Journal of Information Management. He published his paper in top-tier journals in the domains of Operation and Supply Chain Management, IAC international journals and conferences. Dr. Queiroz has been also serving as guest editor for leading journals including International Journal of Operation and Production Management, Journal of Business Logistics, International Journal of Production Research, and list goes on and on. Last but not the least, we have Dr. Anuragini Shirish. Dr. Anuragini Shirish is Associate Professor at Institut Mines-Télécom Business School, France. She is elected member from her institution for governance of LITAM, which is a laboratory, a joint research laboratory under the University of Paris, Clay, France. Her research focuses on studying the humanistic and instrumental impact of several socio-technical phenomena in broad areas of digital work, digital innovation, and digital society. Her research work has been published at many journal of international reviews like Journal of Management Information Systems, European Journal of Information Systems, Information System Journal, and many more. She has also presented her work in several ISN management conferences, including International Conference on Information System, Academy of Management, and such reputed conferences. She has also been honored with several awards, including Outstanding Educator Award by Association for Information System AIS Women's Network, and won second prize at Phoenix Best Thesis Award. So a very warm welcome to all of you, all our speakers of the day. So without any further ado, I would like to call our speakers to take over and address our audience. Over to you. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Dr. Vinod. And then we are very happy to be here today to share some of our insight about Metaverse. So everything started with a paper we jointly wrote with Maciel and Anu. So today, Anu will be the one actually introducing different sections of the presentation and also presenting questions that we want to use to engage with the participants. So let's wait to have the slide on.
Yeah.
Samuel, can you see the slides?
Yeah, screen.
Yes, put into PowerPoint mode, please.
Yes. I'm not able to go back. So can I just try again?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you can go into the third slide already. So he has already introduced ourselves. You are not going to waste. Okay, fine.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. The next one, I know. Yes. Up to you, I know.
Yeah, sorry. I thought we thought that we'll start the session by asking you as to your opinion, because we have a lot of people registered here, as to what you believe is Metaverse. So then we have it a bit more interactive instead of just speaking. So if you can take the time to just log into the Mentimeter, you can scan this QR code here and just share in one word what comes to your mind and what do you think is Metaverse.
You can put multiple answers.
Yeah, I can put several words, basically.
Yes.
I think we have giving a bit time for people to manage this. So in maybe 2 minutes, we'll see the results.
Mm-hmm.
You have some results for us?
When I've done my response.
Okay,
Mhm.
Maciel, do you want me to stop it so you can share the results?
Yes.
Yes. You share?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So the idea is really to have your own input about your own understanding of.
Can you see my screen? The
Yes,
results?
we can see. Yes, we can see.
Yes, we
Perfect.
received interesting response, basically related to virtual world, digital universe, virtual reality world, second world.
Immersion.
Yes, immersion is a keyword of the metaverse because of the companies, especially in the manufacturing and operations and supply chain management context, are trying to provide a good immersive experience to different process and activities. This is an interesting word cloud to start our presentation.
I
Okay,
think
but
what I like the most is like you are in a dream, because
yeah.
I think what we shouldn't forget is Metaverse is also having fun. So now we need to see to what extent, well, we're going to talk more about this. So I'm going to share the screen again. Maciel,
Okay.
thanks a lot.
Okay.
Mhm.
Also, while you put your screen again, we received a response related to a better place to be. Metaverse is a better place to be. Very interesting.
Okay, good. That's interesting.
So
So
you able to see the
yeah,
screen?
we just
Yeah.
keep going. Next one.
Yes.
Like, so we can see that, there's a lot of talk happening out there about Metaverse. Some will talk about the next digital area is coming with Metaverse. Other people are talking about Metaverse is a buzzword. Others are saying not. So we just saw that even though everybody's talking about Metaverse, we have different understanding of what Metaverse is. And through through the keyword, the word cloud you just provided, you can see that everybody has its own understanding of what Metaverse could be. And there's a lot of definition out there. We just wanted to provide one definition, but there are many, many definitions. But when we take this definition is more holistic. So when we talk about Metaverse, you can picture Metaverse as a space where we have people exchanging ideas using their virtual avatar, for example, in a 3D dimension. They will use this within this virtual space is supported by many emerging or cutting-edge technologies, going from artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain, and so forth. So it's really thinking about the virtual space where people can connect and share ideas, interact with people, and interact with other objects. So this is a definition we thought is very holistic that can help us to basically guide what we will talk today. So the question could be, what should we care about Metaverse? Why should we care? We should care about Metaverse because when we look at what analysts are saying, the vast majority of analysts believe that they predict that the global market for Metaverse will expand at an annual rate of about 41.7%, going, for example, from 2021 to 2030 to reach about 4 to 5 trillion. So that means there's a market there. There's a lot of value that can be generated by Metaverse. And if you look, for example, in terms of the participation of people, some analysts like Gardner are predicting that 25% of people will spend at least 1 hour per day in Metaverse. So we should care. If we have so many people spending time on Metaverse, it means that can be a way to sell product, that can be a way to interact, that can be a way to generate value. Yes, we should care. And when we talk about other specific organizations like Accenture that are focusing on how can we use AI, how can we use Metaverse within supply chain, the study they did in 2022 concluded that 2/3 of supply chain executives, they believe that Metaverse will in fact have a positive impact on their organization. So you can see that the market is there, it's having a lot of traction, and then executives have started believing of using that within their organization and their supply chain. So yes, we should care. And then when we look at more specific market of what we call the industrial metaverse, or the one that mirrors or simulate real machines, factories, cities, transportation network, or any complex system through the convergence of a lot of enabling technologies such as digital twins, IoT, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, 5G or 6G, blockchain, virtual reality, and augmented reality. So this more specific industrial metaverse is actually the one who has the more market value. It's expected to be 100 billion. That means more than the combined market of consumer and organization level value created by metaverse. So yes, we should care about metaverse. So if we should care now of the business value of metaverse in operation, then Anu, up to you.
Yes, so we were wondering if you want to think a little bit more before we kind of share what our perspectives are on. What do you think? How do you think Metaverse can contribute to operations and supply chain management or manufacturing, for your example? So you could like write 3 words about this. So we still, again, have 2 minutes, and this is a Mentimeter again. So please take the time to scan this QR code and share your thoughts on how do you think Metaverse can contribute, especially in operation and supply chain or manufacturing.
No, we already have some response. I will project my screen.
Yeah, you think it's enough? Yeah, you can go ahead, share your screen if you want. I'll stop this.
Okay. Can you see it, the word code?
Yes, we can see. They can keep
Okay,
putting more information. Good. So Anu, will be up to you to comment. Then after Maciel take over.
Yes. So yeah, people, I see a lot of people are, well, it's moving too fast. So people consider that Metaverse can contribute in automation of operations. Also, they speak about virtual manufacturing, probably digital twins is what they mean. Collaboration, exchange of information, risk assessment. Optimization is something that people think would be important that we could use Metaverse for, and product development and complex 3D design of, I assume, manufacturing of products and even processes. People talk about how we can use Metaverse for innovation, simulate hard tasks. So basically, yeah, we don't have to waste our resources physically where it's not possible to actually simulate things which are difficult to do in real life, we could use that metaverse as a means. That's nice. And we can even use metaverse as a new market for getting more clients, I suppose.
Yes, it's very interesting to note that some words are converging to our paper published in the International Journal of Information Management about some benefits related to collaboration and more connected now and in the future. The companies are expecting a more integration environment with customers and suppliers, sharing real-time information, so it will speed up the product development. It's very interesting, these insights shared with us. Now,
Yes.
I will stop this interaction and then go back to the slide presentation.
Give me a minute. Am I sharing the screen already? Or?
Yes, go now into PowerPoint mode.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so is this okay now?
Yes, it's fine. So yes, what we wanted to do, like, it was to have your own input before talking about what we prepare for you. So basically, we wanted to actually try to grasp a couple of real case studies where companies are actually using Metaverse. And then this is really link back to what you just presented. So some people was talking about using this as a digital twin. That means the virtual space where you can simulate some of the interaction between different components of a company, of an industrial setting. CMN actually is using the digital tools, develop a digital tool that is helping customers across all industries boost their productivity. So they can enable, for example, real-time performance monitoring. They can use this metaverse environment to actually improve their business process management. They can use, as Maciel just spoke about, in order to speed up their product development cycle by avoiding to create, for example, a physical prototype. So they can exchange ideas about any project, any product development. They can iterate between all the engineers in order to actually facilitate and foster that process. And therefore, they will use that to optimize and automate many of the processes that they are using within the company. Next. So other applications will be related to the use of Metaverse to facilitate, for example, the user experience on how to repair, how to maintain, and how to train them in a given product. And therefore, you can use this, for example, and create a virtual environment where they can actually walk through all the visual guidelines that they may use in order to facilitate this maintenance process. And therefore, in terms of benefit, we have the simplification, customer efficiency, and training. Thank you very much. Next. Maciel, up to you.
Okay. Also, in the manufacturing context, we have Metaverse being used by automakers company. For example, Renault created its named Renault Metaverse. So the company is to save a lot of millions in the next years. For example, some benefits that are achieved is related to the production process safeguards. So the company is monitoring in a better way the entire process related to alertness of the production line house. So the company achieved in increase interesting numbers related to the reduction of the line house. Please, no, go ahead. Yes. So the company detected 300 alerts avoiding 300 production line outs. So it expected a lot of improvements in the digitalization of the entire process production.
Next, yes, that's very good. So based on what Maciel just presented, Renault is actually hoping to reduce the car delivery time by 60%. That's a lot. And they're also planning to use that metaverse infrastructure to actually reduce the car manufacturing carbon footprint by about half of it, which is pretty impressive.
Yes, Samuel, yes, it's important to note that industrial metaverse and metaverse applied in operations and supply chain management are basically integrated, because the manufacturing companies need to integrate suppliers, transportation, among others. So we need to see this in an interchangeable way.
Yes, and then now when you look at, for example, the training, you can see that it can be, the metaverse infrastructure can be very useful in training, especially in industrial plant workforce. You know, by mapping, for example, all the virtual space, all the asset, all the object and product, and therefore they could be used that to simulate critical operations, including, for example, the startup of the plant, the shutdown of the plant, all the safety response procedure. So this will help actually to facilitate and speed up the integration of new employees and to improve the learning process. Up to you, Maciel.
Okay, another application about metaverse is to training by the companies, top companies related to aviation. For example, Airbus is using metaverse to develop an entire virtual cockpit to pilots develop their skills about the operating procedures. It's very interesting because the company can save time, can improve the standards between the employees, and create diverse scenarios about complex situations. Next, please. So in the manufacturing aspect, training can speed up the team members' integration, and the companies can develop the excellence by employees from different regions around the world. For example, in this the BMW group, the factory planning integrated with NVIDIA, both companies created the platform named Omniverse. Omniverse is in the context of the metaverse, but both companies are trying to communicate the unrestricted metaverse. So, for example, in a same plant, employees from different regions can interact together in a real time in different activities of the production process. For example, in prototype engineering, in testing some production activities, the collaboration will be very, very benefit, because the employees cannot travel to receive an excellent training. So in their home, the employees can do this. Next, please. Samuel, any comment?
Yes. So this is Anu.
Yes, no, we have one last question. Don't worry, this is the last one. We just want to know, sorry. What, in your opinion, is the future of Metaverse in manufacturing and supply chain? You again have 2 minutes. So please go to the Mentimeter and share your thoughts with us.
Yes, it's the last question.
So what do you think is the future of Metaverse? So maybe I can, Maciel, I can maybe I'll leave it here for a minute. You wanted
Yes.
to go?
Yes, 1 minute so you can have time to show the slide.
Yes, are you share the code in the chat also?
Okay, great.
Okay, we already have some interesting responses.
Okay. You can share your screen.
Yes, can you see it,
Good.
this screen?
Yes, coming good. That's good.
So yeah, we have diverse responses. Each company will adapt, and we have adoption challenges, which is very important. Yes. So in the future, we have to deal with adoption challenges, spread in some sectors. I mean, maybe we're talking about diffusion of this technology to different sectors. Grow, but not too much. Many people are pessimistic. I suppose they're not sure if this would in fact be adopted. I think future is also about virtual training might change. More people would use Metaverse for virtual training. It could also replace the real world. And I think some have brought up about the issue of capital, finances to actually secure such a platform for manufacturing and operations and supply chain issue. And then we have cross-platform integration is already an issue. Yeah, when it comes to Metaverse, people are considering, and that will pose a problem also for manufacturing sector as well as operations. Training courses will be, I think we don't see it fully, but I think it's covering the virtual training aspects. Courses would be probably more immersive and more useful. It improves efficiency. Early in B2B. So yeah, so people are talking about how it would diffuse into the market. So suspicion of whether people will adopt to where will they adopt first in, maybe in virtual training, and then it will move to starting with B2B, and then it will then probably go to more consumer level. Yeah, so people, yeah, I think we see some responses where they say it's great for manufacturing and it's essential. Yeah, essential part as scratch. I have no idea what that means. I think it means I think we're just scratching the surface.
That's good. Yeah, but that's good.
Yes.
Thanks
that's
to
already very good.
efficiency. Yeah, many have spoken about efficiency. Yeah. Interesting.
Yes,
So I think Samuel and Maciel, they did a wonderful study, and they asked companies, right, as to what they think and what do the companies feel in terms of adoption. So I think we'll have that now.
Yes. Let's go.
Yes. Okay. So more in terms of how it's changing the operations and supply chain management. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I know. So yes, we can say that in fact, Metaverse will change in terms of facilitating end-to-end visibility. It will enhance, for example, the demand fulfillment cycle. Would also help, for example, to have more insight from the end-to-end supply chain, going from the upstream to downstream supply chain. Actually, is actually one of the viable tools for internal and external collaboration. Next. So, for example, if we look at the Hong Kong International Airport, the objective was basically to try to enhance the operational efficiency and customer experience, basically what you just presented in the work cloud. So that means they wanted to use the metaverse in order to create a kind of better customer experience and also to improve their operational efficiency. Through this tool, they are now able to enhance their operational efficiency. They can make some by simulating, they are able to do multiple scenarios based on the number of, for example, travelers and the availability of different space within the airport. They can better plan the passenger flow and therefore improve by removing or adding digital and physical asset. They can better plan what they have to do during the week and during the period where they want to simulate. They can actually help also to design future improvement within the airport. So this is a real example where an organization is using the digital twin to improve the operational efficiency and customer experience. Next. And this actually, you can click on the link and see this is another example where we can have the Rotterdam port is using actually a virtual reality tool to facilitate the visit of their infrastructure. So now you can in real time go through that tool and see what you want to focus on in terms of the infrastructure, in terms of the shipping movement, or even in terms of weather condition. This is an amazing tool to look at, to visit to do a virtual tour of the port. Then what you can see, for example, for DHL, they are using the smart glasses to facilitate all the warehouse operations in terms of the picking, in terms of the put away, and in terms of the shipping as well. And this has helped them to actually reduce the error rate. They also improve the productivity by using this tool, and also is contributing to facilitate the training of the new employees. So basically, they do believe that by utilizing this type of tool, they can actually enhance their internal operations and facilitate the training of their incoming employees. Next. Maciel.
Okay, this last part of our presentation will highlight a recent paper published in the International Journal of Operation and Production Management about Metaverse in Operation and Supply Chain Management. The authors are Professor Samuel Fosso WAMBA, Susana Carlos Faria Pereira, and Professor Charbel José Chiapeta Jabur, and I. So this is one of the first papers about Metaverse in supply chain management by an empirical approach. Anu, please go ahead. So the main question of this paper was, what are the Metaverse main benefits, challenges, and trends in operations and supply chain management related fields? So this question today, the audience also participated in 3 moments. So in our study, we recruited practitioners with experience in operations and supply chain management. So we developed a web-based survey. We used the well-known company Prolific to manage our questionnaire. We received a response from our 150 experts, and including more than 12 countries. So we have interesting results. We split the respondents in 2 groups: Metaverse adopters in operation and supply chain management and non-adopters. So the same questions were made to both groups. Related to the top 5 benefits in the Metaverse, by the Metaverse in OSCM, the adopters, what are adopters? In our context, adopters are respondents that their companies are using some metaverse approach, like smart glasses for order picking, and augmented reality, virtual reality, etc. So the top 5 benefits in the metaverse adopters was innovation, efficiency, information sharing, collaboration, and visibility. It's very important to highlight that these benefits are in line with the pool that we had today.
Yeah, I think three of the benefits were actually shared by the participants, like innovation, efficiency, and collaboration.
That's fantastic,
Yes.
because we confirm our empirical evidence.
Yes.
Yes. The next we have the top 5 benefits highlighted by the non-adopters group. The same top 5 was highlighted. We have innovation, efficiency, information sharing. So we have a little difference about the order. Visibility comes first, then collaboration. So the non-adopters and adopters have similar opinions about the benefits of the metaverse in operations and supply chain management. Also, we asked to the participants about the challenges of the metaverse in operations and supply chain management. Here, we highlight the 5 most representative. In the group of the adopters, we have technology adoption and implementation is one of the main concern. Lack of worker skills, cost of implementation, security, and privacy. We can see in this group about the human resource is a big challenge, costs are a challenge, and security and privacy are also important concerns to be considered.
I think, again, we have 3 results similar to our audience who also said adoption could be an issue, and they also spoke about finances.
Yes.
So,
fantastic. Next, we have the top 5 challenges in the no-adopters group. So the first one was cost of implementation. So the no-adopters, first of all, are seeing cost of implementation as a big barrier. Next, we have the technology adoption and implementation, security, lack of worker skills, and privacy. Is very, very interesting, the convergence of both groups.
yeah.
That's very important.
Now we asked about the trends. So now we have the top 5 trends between the adopters. The first one is related that the adopters see that metaverse will be fully adopted by companies and supply chain the next years. The second was metaverse adopted only for operational activities. It's very important. It's very important to understand this trend, because metaverse is not related to operational activities. Metaverse needs to be explored also in a strategic view. The 3 was metaverse cost of implementation reduction for supply chains fully digitalized in the metaverse, and the increased overall supply chain performance enabled by metaverse. So the companies are expecting that the metaverse can support the performance improvement in the key activities and process. Now we have the top 5 trends between the no-adopters group. The first is related to metaverse will be adopted only by medium and large companies. This trend is very close to the barrier related to cost about the implementation of the metaverse. The second is metaverse cost of implementation reduction, metaverse adopted only for operational activities, increased overall supply chain performance enabled by metaverse. The majority of the metaverse projects will fail. It's very important to develop new studies about these trends.
Yeah, I think it ties back to, you know, the technology is normally viewed as an opportunity by the early adopters and as a threat by the non-adopters. And we can see that clearly, right? And to say that this is the top 5, I know you had other results. You've only mentioned the top 5.
That's true. That's true. I know, because
yeah,
when you talk also about medium and large company, because you know we talk about cost, and they believe that the large and medium-sized company are those with a lot of resources, financial resources to engage in such complex projects.
yes.
Great. Now we have some emerging practical issues. We highlight only, we discovered 3 main categories. The first one is related to metaverse technology adoption and implementation. In this category, we highlight 3 main representative emerging practical issues. The first one is related to governance and standardization. This is a big issue because there are a big effort by top companies to develop the patterns and standardize the practice in the metaverse. Also, we have privacy and security being representative concerns and ethical issues, for example, and the diffusion through the network. The adoption is not an easy task because in a supply chain context, we need to mobilize different members and them sharing the knowledge about the metaverse, develop process and activities together in an integrated and coordinated way. Next category, we have the metaverse social perspective. So in this category, here we highlight 3 main representative topics. The first one is related to the organizational culture and stakeholder commitment. Stakeholder culture is a decisive point to the metaverse being adopted. Also, the lack of worker skills also represent a big issue. All these emerging practical issues can be investigated by practitioners and scholars. We have excellent opportunities to advance this field. We have top management support. Top management support is very related to organization culture. If the company does have a good organization culture, the top management support you fail. Next, please. The last category is about the process optimization. We discovered that the supply chains and manufacturing, several companies are very interested in improve their process. So by integrating metaverse with artificial intelligence and algorithm development for save costs or gain efficiency performance. We have 3 representative subcategories: perception of value by customers, organization, and society. This is a big one here. How the customers and the stakeholders are seeing the value created by metaverse. Business process modeling and remodeling, and the sustainable business models. Please, the next. We have only 2 more slides. We will highlight only the main topics about, because this This is about the opportunities for scholars and practitioners. For example, in the manufacturing and operations management, we need more studies to investigate these challenges and benefits in a deeper way. In the healthcare context, we need to investigate how Metaverse can contribute to telemedicine adoption, surgical operations, in the sustainability perspective. How Metaverse can be used to improve the minimization of pollution, carbon reduction, traffic congestion, among others. Related to supply chain disruptions, Metaverse can improve and support the resilience of the supply chains because of the end-to-end visibility, a more coordinated and integrated. I don't know, it needs to be explored by future studies. Human resource management. We saw that this is a big challenge for Metaverse adoption. Next, please. Finally, we have Metaverse in tourism and hospitality. For example, how can Metaverse enhance the book purchase process? In the field of diversity, equity, and inclusion, how can Metaverse be increase the diversity, equity, and inclusion by manufacturing companies? What is the role of Metaverse related to the governance in the supply chain? What are the main ethical concerns and how to outperform these concerns? We have interesting topics and research questions that can be integrated by scholars and also by practitioners and government.
So it seems like this is the end.
Okay, so thank you very much. So we are happy to take some questions and interact with you.
Yeah.
Let's engage with questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, first of all, for such a wonderful and informative session, which even I was eagerly looking forward to, because I couldn't relate how Metaverse can be adopted in this operations and manufacturing. So the discussion on opportunities and challenges associated with Metaverse in manufacturing and operation management was eye-opener for me as well. Interesting to see some example of businesses which are using Metaverse. That was also interesting piece. I found that piece very interesting. So before I take question, I have a question if I can ask any one of you. So how can company prepare for arrival of Metaverse in manufacturing and operation management? Because some are adopting, but not all. So what is your take on that? How they can take competitive advantage when they can take to that level that it can become a competitive advantage, not business value, but business value to competitive advantage. Yeah.
Well, let me try. I think that, like any other technological innovation, you need to always start with your business problem. What are you trying to solve? You shouldn't try to look at only the technological perspective. So I think that company that will be capitalizing on the high potential of this type of tools are those who are trying to solve their issues. You identify a business problem, you assess how this tool or part of this tool may help you to achieve competitive advantage. And then for sure, you will need to have required skills. You need to think about, are you going to do that through phases? How are you going to approach this type of project? So for me, it's not very different to traditional technological innovation adoption problems. What is difficult is just in terms of the complexity and the size. Because if you are trying to implement at the supply chain level, then you need to look at which supplier, which customer want to start at least the pilot, and then how am I going to scale up all these projects? So this is my take on that.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
I think I just want to add that we must remember that, we achieve competitive advantage, by also reducing costs or creating a new solution. So as we saw, one of the main advantages that people see is to innovate using Metaverse. So I guess there's a lot of scope for innovation for new products, which then can give you also a good competitive advantage in the market in the future. But I guess what's important is to, again, go back to one of the challenges that we found, I mean, in the Samuel and Maciel found in their study. They spoke about how can we identify the value? How can we communicate the value of created through use of Metaverse? So I think that's an important point. So even if you use Metaverse as any of the company for your operations management or manufacturing for that matter, what needs to ultimately what will create the competitive advantages when the consumers or whoever is your client actually believes that it's increasing the quality. So there is a step of, I think they need to be prepared to communicate the value in order to create the competitive advantage, and especially if they are playing on increasing the quality of the product. That's something to consider. I think that's a challenge. So that's like how Samuel said, I think if you have more people involved in the supply chain, and then there is more probability that your product or your processes will have more quality, and therefore visibility also outside of whichever the company is adopting. So that's I guess.
Yeah. I know. And then you need also to think about, okay, creating and capture, because if you are at the network level, maybe the value will be created by some, and this value can be captured downstream. So that means if somebody is creating the value and the other person is capturing the value, and then you raise the question of how do we share then the value? If I'm investing in putting in place the metaverse infrastructure, and my customer are basically using that infrastructure to capture the value that I'm creating. Therefore, we need to think about what Marshall was saying, sustainable business model. So what would be the best business model that is able to basically share the cost and share the benefit generated by this metaverse infrastructure?
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So with the kind permission, can we take a few questions from the audience? We have Chintan Parikh, who works with Siemens, and he made a comment when we were covering the slide, the challenges which are associated with the adoption of Metaverse. So challenges that he sees in his company Siemens is cost of device and 5G connectivity. And the question that he asks is that this is a use case driven space till now. So finding use cases are difficult to find, and it requires push from IT and global business functions. So what is your take on that?
I think he just mentioned the answer too, right? I mean, I think it's more like an opinion, and what I see is that he sees the main challenge is cost of device and 5G connectivity, which again, I think their study clearly pointed out that in order to actually engage with Metaverse, or as Metaverse are being developed right now, the technology is developing as well. But yes, we know that to use it is very is difficult to buy those graphic designer devices to actually run a simulation in Metaverse. So it's nothing to say in that. I think it's a real challenge. Yeah, I don't know about the 5G connectivity and how that is seen as a challenge. So if Samuel or Maciel.
Yeah, and I think their question is is right, is the best one. Unless Maciel has something to add.
Yes, well, as related to the challenge, I think that is more emerge more than the benefits in this first stage of the metaverse. So we had other questions from the audience that are integrated, for example, about the trust among partners. On the other hand, we have the cost related to device acquisition, for example, in some case. In other case, we have the complexity related to share information between members in the supply chain. What type of information can be shared? And can I share with all supply chain members? It's a very important question. Because of this, I put in the chat a web address about the standardization of the metaverse. This is an effort by big companies that are trying to develop the standards and the governance of the metaverse. It's very hard because the traditional regulators are not prepared for this for this new way of operations. So we have great opportunities, great opportunities to advance and contribute to this field.
I may add that, like it's already very challenging to implement a single technology within one organization. And then now if you have to create this metaverse space where you have a convergence of many complex IT technological innovation, such as digital twins, IoT, AI, cloud, 5G. So connecting all these tools together to function in a given space, for sure, is going to create more complexity. It's going to create more challenges in terms of ensuring that we have interoperability within them and across them, and that we are actually able to, let's say, for example, collect in real time all the data generated by all these IoT devices, apply some analytical tools on this to do prediction, share among all stakeholders in real time to make prediction and to react, to do some kind of predictive maintenance within this space. Is challenging. But, it's not because it's challenging that we shouldn't be pushing towards this kind of vision of having a space where we can actually simulate machinery, simulate new cities or transport network. So I think the future for me is actually very bright, and then we should work hard to achieve this kind of vision, at least at a small scale, and then try to scale up the benefit that will be generated for pilot study and proof of concept, basically.
All right. So we can take one more, I think, which only remained. The metaverse will be open to new dimension of sustainability, though Professor Maciel Queiroz answered that mainly in the resource scarcity scenarios. But any take on sustainability dimensions and how metaverse is open for the same or not?
Well, actually, for me, I think that is helping a lot, because now imagine, instead of buying material to do prototyping of many products, just by avoiding to do the prototyping, that means you are saving a lot of resources. And then, being able just to do the virtual training instead of bringing all employees of a given company in a physical space to do the training. So there's a lot of value related to metaverse in creating a different dimension of sustainability. So for sure, we are going to have that dimension there. But you also have the other part where, as soon as you are connecting a lot of devices, you are having a lot of IoT components that are interacting between them, using a lot of energy, generating a lot of waste. So now the question will be, for a given application, how do we reach the balance where the benefits are more than challenges that are created by implementing such a platform?
Yes, I think that's important to consider. And going back to the social issue of the sustainability angle, I mean, we're still talking about digital divide, and we must not, this is it's a new technology, and just like even now we don't see internet being available in certain countries, and this is going to take time for those companies to actually adopt, right? So and I completely agree. I think it's very important to look at the green auditing of these usage of metaverse for any purpose when a company uses. Although that's why I think I would go back to what Samuel mentioned about the need. Do you really need metaverse to come up with this process optimization or the supply chain management, or to come up with this new innovation? If you don't need it, don't waste the resources, I would say. So, but if the company really, but what I'm saying is, for big companies with projects which can cost a lot, where you can't do trial and error with real materials, this is like a boon to those kind of companies, and definitely they will save a lot of money. when they use Metaverse. So there's cost benefit to every situation, but I guess we shouldn't forget that in the future, all companies would be asked, at least in Europe, as per the regulation, to comment on the green auditing of their activities. And that's going to be a challenge because at the moment, we do not know how to quantify many of these sustainability issues that may come into effect when we actually use Metaverse full-fledged.
Yeah, true. That's really very interesting. So thank you so much, Professor Samuel, Dr. Maciel, and Dr. Anuragini, for taking question and taking your precious time for this talk. It was really very, very interesting. And many thanks to Professor Yogesh Kumar Dwivedi, Dr. Laurie Hughes, and Professor Raman for conceiving this idea of seminar series and also for creating such a wonderful platform to discuss very contemporary theme that is related to many industries, emerging perspective on the metaverse. So I'd like to thank all our guests who have joined from all around the globe today. Last but not the least, I'd like to thank Mr. Relations and his team for IT support. So before we leave, there are announcements for the next seminar series 1 and the link for the next seminar for registration is already posted on the chat. So before we leave, I'd like to announce that next seminar, which is scheduled on 17th May 2023, where Professor Neil Chetri from University of North Carolina, USA, will join us to touch upon again a very interesting topic, which talked about in today's research agenda as well, pollution reducing and pollution generating effects of metaverse. So request all to mark the date on calendar. So that's all for today. So looking forward to see you all in the next seminar. Thank you once again. Have a great time ahead. Thank you.